This book, I wish I'd written it. Reading a nonfiction book has become a habit for me every morning since 75 Hard. 75 Hard, one of the things you have to do is read 10 pages of a nonfiction motivational book or business book, right? So I kind of carried that over because mostly I love to read. I always have bunches of books going. I listen to books in the car because I feel like I've heard all the music, and there's all the books. Too many books, too little time. So I picked this book up because I was looking for something good to read in the morning. Younger Next Year for Women. This book is incredible, and I started reading it. I picked it up because I think I started reading it before I was trying to figure out what to do with this channel, and it kind of fits into what I was thinking about, like this is what I believe. And I got about 2 chapters into it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I'd written this book. This book is so good. There's 2 doctors, Dr. Chris Crowley and Henry Lodge, and Dr. Crowley is funny, so funny. So I'm laughing my way through this book, and then Dr. Lodge is sciency. Not that they're not both, doctors in science and all that good stuff, but this book is so good. And it's so good that I bought the men's version for my husband. Has he read it yet? No. Will he? I hope so, because I got so much out of this. Mostly, I got confirmation that my thought process on how we age is correct. And I wasn't just like, having champagne wishes and caviar dreams. It's so good that when I go to a used bookstore, I buy up all the copies and I give them to people because I feel like this book should be our handbook for healthy, happy aging. The book is divided into 4 parts, and the first part is called Take Charge of Your Body, and that's where they kind of lay it all out for you. And they tell you that this is not the end of the road, that most disease comes from disuse. Like, you tell your body, I'm not going to move, and it complies. It's happy to comply. But if you keep moving, your body will keep doing. And movement literally changes your body chemistry. I have notes because I want to make sure I get you guys all the good stuff, because you will want to get your own handbook. It changes. It's the closest thing we have to a time machine that will reverse aging is movement. And you can choose to grow every single day through movement and nutrition and mindset. Mindset is so key. This is like my big warpath right now, because I keep seeing, I don't know if it's my age or what, but I keep seeing these memes that talk about, well, now that you're 50, your neck is going to hurt when you reach for the copier, crap like that. Or the one about getting up off the floor, but you can't get on the floor to wrap Christmas presents anymore. Garbage. And I just feel like that's my mission, is to tell people you don't have to think that way. Your mind is an incredibly powerful tool that you have inside of your head, and you should use it, because as a man thinks, so he believes. Man, I wish I was better at the Bible so I could tell you where exactly that is, but it's in there. And so what you believe is what you become. That simple. I have always believed that you don't need to just get old and wither on the vine, sit on the couch and wait to arrive safely at death. How many times do I say that? I found that in a book. It's not mine. It's not my words. Mark Battison, his books are great. And he said that in one of his books, and I'm like, I'm taking that, because it is just like how I view it. People who think that just sitting there and doing nothing is the way to go once you get to be a certain age. I beg to differ. So, part 2 is the rules that change everything. And the first one, they're very adamant about the fact that you need to exercise 6 days a week. And this is not a suggestion, this is a must. They say that consistency beats intensity, which is true, because like I've talked about this before, we're not trying to be 25, remember? So you don't need to be intense, you just need to be consistent, because that's going to bring you to the end. It's going to keep you from getting hurt. It's going to help you to just do it well. Rest is earned and it's intentional. Today is my rest day. I feel like the rest days are I feel like I'm slacking. I really do. But I know it's important. I did 8 miles yesterday, and I think I've mentioned before that I broke my ankle in 2018. Well, that I feel weird in that foot, and I think that before I started doing 75 hard the last time, I started it and I stopped. And the reason for that was because my ankle felt strange. And I thought, I don't know if I can do this working out 2 days a week because of my ankle. Well, when I finally got it in my head that I was doing this thing no matter what, the ankle was not going to stop me. It was like I broke through scar tissue or something. I don't know. And then my ankle started feeling almost normal again. The top of my foot on the broken ankle foot, there's like a bump there that I don't recall was there before. And as my foot exercises and expands, um, it pushes against the top of the shoe. And I've gotten longer shoes, which I fully see the need for now. That's what's recommended for endurance walking, because my foot will accommodate that. That shoe will accommodate my foot when it blows up from walking so far. But I haven't figured out what to do with the top of my foot yet. So that's a little bit sore today. But this day is going to be a well deserved rest so that I can do what I need to do next week. Rule number 2 is don't eat crap. Their words, not mine. Not that I wouldn't say something similar, but don't eat crap. It's simple. You got to feed yourself like you're going to be around for a while. That is why we eat mostly carnivore, real food. Do I eat cake? I had cake on my birthday. My daughter in law made me a delicious cake, and I enjoyed every bite of it. Did I have a pancake yesterday after walking 8 miles? I did, but those days are few and far between. I don't do it every day because I need to eat well to fuel my body. Would I eat the pancake again after doing 8 miles? I'm not really sure about that. It seemed like a really great idea, and they were amazing. They were really good pancakes, and I enjoyed every bite. But honestly, I think I want to stay away from pancakes. They're too easy to. I'm going down the pancake slide because I found a good one. It's like, oh gosh, I don't want to eat any more of it. Um, but it's not about restricting. You don't need to restrict. You just need to respect your body. And for me personally, your mileage may vary, but over the years, I have learned that when I keep the processed carbs, the flours, the sugars out of my body, I feel so much better. I did a test with myself yesterday and I did not eat before I did my 8 miles. I don't think I'll be doing that again. I think I need to fuel myself before I go, and then I'll probably be able to go a long way without it being weird. And I didn't feel hungry at all. But when I sat down in that restaurant, man, I felt all kind of lightheaded, and that's like blood sugar stuff. Like, whoa, that was dumb. We won't be doing that again. Live and learn, right? So you gotta like just cut the crap out, eat good that's really good, eat food that's really good for you, that will fuel what you need to do, fuel your existence for the next, let's see, I'm 65, I'm gonna be running the hurdles when I'm 109. That's 44 years until I run the hurdles in the senior Olympics for a long time. The third one is connect to other people. Loneliness. Did you know that loneliness is as dangerous as smoking? So sitting is like the new smoking. Think about that. Relationships, laughter, and purpose, that's what keeps us going. We're meant to be with people, to connect, to laugh, to have memories together and good times. And so that is their third rule, is connect to other people. And we've talked about this before. Um, I currently work, so I connect to people every day at work. But if I didn't work, I would still love the military service sisters, girls. I would I would probably still be an ambassador for the chamber if I'm around. When we retire, we're gonna buy an RV and we're gonna hike full time around the country. So I probably won't be able to be a chamber ambassador, but I have these ideas of ways I can connect to people when I get into towns, after I've walked for a while, And I'm looking forward to like seeing how I can make these ideas come to fruition so that I'm still connecting to people other than just my husband while we're hiking. So part 3 is called For Women Only, and this is the part where they talk about things that are particular to us. I love the fact that they talk about menopause like it's a part of life because, hey, guess what? It's a part of life. I don't, there doesn't need to be any doom and gloom and sadness over it. Um, I didn't experience anything much menopausal when I mean, I had my period forever. I think I went through menopause at 58. I'm such a latecomer to some things. But I sailed through it, and I believe that that is because of eating right and sleeping right and and exercising. I was interviewing a lady the other day who was having a hot flash while I was speaking to her, and I handed her a magazine that was on the table. I mean, like, I didn't do that. I watched my sister go through that, and I just knew that her lifestyle isn't as uh, it's not like mine. I don't know how to say that. My sister doesn't live like me, um, and she doesn't like to cook, and she'd rather eat something from a restaurant. And I watched her go through hot flash after hot flash, and she's younger than me. And this was like way a long time ago, and I was like, "Whoa, I am not doing that." Just like get these things in my head, like just when I got my um, functional aging specialist certificate. I looked at the stats in that book and I was like, that is not going to be me, you know? So I think, though, that that's one of the reasons that helped me to just sail through menopause with little to no feeling of any difference. I do have weight in my midsection, which I never had before. That's a hormonal thing. So they talk about hormones, they talk about exercise, and they talk about nutrition, and they talk about it in a way that is not doomy and gloomy. And you'll laugh. You'll laugh along at Dr. Chris while he's telling you about it. Um, it's not a disaster, and it's just a time when you can figure out what you want to do. They talk about heart health, bones, and balance. And you know me, I'm hot on the balance here because I believe so many people get taken out by that. And another thing that's like that's not going to be me. And it's not fear based. None of this is fear based. It's just all factual and very funny if you listen from the chapters rotate between Dr. Chris and Dr. Henry, and so Dr. Chris will make you laugh, and then you'll like read the stuff, but it's all the same good information. Um, Movement is medicine. You can prevent most of the balance, the bones, and the heart health stuff, given the way that you work out and eat. Then they talk about purpose, meaning, and reinvention. And that's a part of this book that really spoke to me because we've been through it all. We've raised our families, we've done, worked our jobs, and we've lived through chaos. And now this is the time in our life where we can do something that really lights us up. And you know, for me, I'm going to be hiking, and I cannot wait. What I believe I was born to do, which is hike. And so the hiking, it's going to do all these things for me. It's going to keep me active. It's going to keep me connecting. It's going to keep me involved and just so excited about it. Um, Dr. Lodge calls it positive engagement, and Dr. Chris calls it get a life because you can't just sit there on the couch and wait to arrive safely at death. You need to stay involved, stay curious, and feel needed. I'm never going backwards. I cannot wait for the next chapter. The chickens were just let out and they are now gathered around me. Hopefully, they're learning some great information about how to live their older lives as they peck my leg. And then the last part is part 4, it's called Living Younger Next Year. And this is where they bring it home. They tell you how to do it. They tell you how to build your tribe, where to find purpose and play. Play, it's so important. Didn't you love it when you got a grandchild and all of a sudden you got to play with the toys again? Or even kids, when you got your kids and you got to play with the toys again? Playing is important. I'm gonna talk about playing in more detail, I think, someday, because I love to play. And there's that quote that says, we don't grow old because we stop, or we don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing, right? And I believe that to be so much the truth. I'm going to have to make a chicken move. She's pecking my leg. Anyway, then they tell you, they show you the road ahead, and they tell you to keep showing up to keep moving and to keep choosing growth. And then that is going to be how you're living younger every day. You know, I was looking through this book and I have several sections marked, but I've only highlighted one place in the book and I want to read it to you because it just kind of exemplifies everything I believe in one big paragraph. How you view your life has a surprisingly large role in determining how your life goes. So there's a real premium on having positive emotions. The good news is that you can create positive emotions by consciously creating positive environments. You do this by deliberately driving away the modern versions of lions and tigers, stress, loneliness, and idle worry about status. By reaching out to good stimuli, exercise, deep sleep, rational diet, love, and play, happiness comes primarily from building connections, from giving and getting love and friendship, and that just takes good old-fashioned work, hard but deeply satisfying work. Connect and commit, in other words, to generate positive emotions and drive away despair. Isn't that awesome? That's exactly how I feel. The magic in this book to me is the two different voices. You have one that's very scientific and doctorly sounding, and then you have Dr. Chris, who is funny, telling you stuff that you need to know that's absolutely the truth, but just delivering it in such a different way. And I love that so much. They make this serious stuff fun to read. And I laughed out loud more than once, but I agreed, like, through the whole book is just amazing. And so the combo of the two of them just wraps into one of my very favorite books and what I think should be our handbook for happy aging. So the book didn't reframe aging for me, but it confirmed it. These girls. It's hope wrapped in a hard truth. Move, eat like you meet, like you care, and stay connected. It's proof that we're not done yet. This book didn't reframe aging for me, it confirmed it. It's hope wrapped in hard truth. Move, eat like you care, and stay connected. It's proof that we're not done yet, not even close. Thanks for spending time with me today. If this encouraged you, give it a thumbs up and share it with another aging rebel who needs a little hope. I'll see you in the next one, and remember to live strong, laugh often, and shine with purpose.